If you've ever run a programmatic campaign, you know the feeling, right? You're just swimming in this massive ocean of data, and it is so easy to get lost. But what if there was a way to just cut through all of that noise, find the true north for your campaigns, and turn all that raw data into real, actionable insights?
Well, that's exactly the challenge we're going to tackle today. We're going to demystify Display and Video 360, or DV360, by zeroing in on the handful of key performance indicators, KPIs, that actually matter. It's time to stop the guesswork and start building a truly data-driven strategy.
Okay, let's dive right in. The key to navigating this whole sea of data is your set of KPIs. Seriously, think of them as your programmatic compass. They give you direction, they give you clarity, and they tell you if you're actually on the right path to hitting your goals.
So, quick refresher. What even is DV360? Well, like you see here, it's a demand-side platform, a DSP. It's basically your command center for buying ads all over the internet. But here's the thing. Having all that power without the right KPIs, well, it's like trying to drive a race car blindfolded. You've got all the speed in the world, but absolutely no direction.
So with all these different metrics staring you in the face, where on earth do you even begin? It all comes down to one simple golden rule that makes everything easier. Let your main objective lead the way.
And this right here is absolutely fundamental. Your objective dictates your KPIs. I mean, think about it. The metrics you track for a big, splashy brand awareness campaign are going to be worlds apart from those for a campaign where you just need to drive sales, right? So before you even look at a single data point, the first question has to be, what are we actually trying to achieve here?
All right, let's start our journey at the very top of the marketing funnel. The primary goal here is all about building brand awareness and just maximizing your reach. We want as many of the right people as possible to simply know that we exist.
So let's clear up a classic point of confusion right away. Impressions versus reach. As you can see, impressions are all about volume, the total number of times your ad got displayed. But reach? That's about people, the number of unique individuals who saw your ad. And this distinction is so important. If one person sees your ad 5 times, that's 5 impressions, but a reach of only 1.
And building on that, we have a few other key metrics for awareness. Frequency helps you find that Goldilocks zone, the sweet spot between reminding someone and just plain annoying them. Viewability answers a super simple but vital question, was your ad actually seen by a real human? And CPM, or cost per 1,000 impressions, that's your efficiency gauge. Think of it as the price tag. Are you getting a good deal to show your ad?
Okay, let's move on down to the middle of the funnel. Now our focus starts to shift. We're moving away from just being seen to actively driving interest and engagement. We want people to start interacting with our brand.
So in the mid-funnel, our KPIs change to measure that engagement. Your click-through rate, or CTR, tells you if your ad is compelling enough to actually earn a click. Cost per click, or CPC, tells you the price of that interest. And for video ads, video completion rate is huge. It tells you if your story is good enough to hold someone's attention all the way to the end.
And finally, we've arrived at the bottom of the funnel. This is where the magic really happens. This is where we focus on the metrics that directly translate to real business outcomes, like sales, leads, and signups.
These are the heavy hitters, the metrics that directly impact the bottom line. Conversions are, well, the actions you want people to take. Your cost per acquisition, or CPA, tells you if you can afford to drive those actions profitably. And your conversion rate? That shows you how well your website actually seals the deal after someone clicks.
But for so many businesses, especially anyone in e-commerce, there's one metric that is the absolute holy grail: return on ad spend, or ROAS.
And this is just such a brilliant way to see how it works. A 400% ROS means that for every single dollar you spent on advertising, you generated $4 back in revenue. It's the clearest possible line you can draw between your ad budget and the money coming in the door. But hey, clicks are not the whole story. DV360 lets you track view-through conversions. These are people who saw your ad, didn't click on it, but came back and converted later. And this is so important because it proves the value of your awareness efforts. It shows how just seeing an ad can plant a seed that influences a purchase way down the line. Okay, so you have the numbers, you understand what the metrics mean. Now what? Well, this is where we turn analytics into action. This is the fun part. It's time to optimize.
The key is to get into a continuous optimization cycle, just like this one. First, you analyze your data. What's not working? Maybe it's a really low click-through rate. Then you form a hypothesis, a guess. I bet a stronger call to action will fix this.
Next, you test it. Run a little A/B experiment right inside DV360. And finally, you measure the results to see which version actually won. Then you rinse and repeat.
And the great thing is, DV360 gives you so many different levers you can pull. You can get way more precise with your audience targeting. You can let the machine learning help out with automated bidding, telling the algorithm your target CPA and letting it find conversions for you. You can manage those frequency caps so you're not burning people out. And maybe the most powerful move of all, shifting your budget from the losers to the winners.
And here's a pro tip for you. Please go beyond last-click attribution. The very last click before someone converts rarely tells the whole story. You should explore models like data-driven attribution, which intelligently assigns credit across all the different touchpoints that led to that conversion. It gives you a much more honest, much more accurate picture of what's truly working.
So, at the end of the day, mastering DV360 KPIs isn't about memorizing a bunch of definitions. It's about learning to read the story that your data is trying to tell you. A story about your customers, your ads, and your overall strategy. Once you understand that story, you can make smarter, faster decisions. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what story is your data telling you?